Okay, and we're gonna be back here with another review for Mega Man 6 this time. This will complete the first 6 collection, and I think we've had a video done for number 10. Number 7, 8, and 9, may do videos for those, but they'll take a little bit of time. Number 7 is very difficult at the end of the game. Number 8 is a little bit different than some of the other ones because you have different power-ups, and I like to try to get the power-ups. They make the game a little bit easier to play, not totally easy, but a little bit easier, and it makes it a little bit more manageable. So that would be something that we'd have to work on that. Number 9 is they amped up the difficulty on that one, so if I ever go to do that one, we will have to do save states on it. I'm not really familiar with number 11 that they came out with, and may do a playthrough of that at some point. It's a lot different than the other ones, I think, in my honest opinion. The X series, haven't really figured out if I'm going to do those or not yet. If I do them, they're just going to be they're going to be like basic playthroughs, because the X series is a lot, to me it's more difficult than the original series, and while I would love to show you guys how to get the power-ups and stuff that you can use during the game, I would rather talk about where they are and let you see them on other videos than to try to get them myself, because there's one on X2 that's if you're not going to use it, or you're not going to be able to use it, there's no use in getting it. There's just no use in getting the power-up. I mean, because it's a pain in the butt to get, and like I said, if you're not going to use it, there's no reason to get it. But at least I can, go through and tell, how to get it. We could do that. But let's get into this Mega Man 6. This is, like I said, the last one of the first 6. The next one will be released on the Super Nintendo, which would be number 7. And that would be, then they would switch over to PlayStation, of course. X1 through X3 are on the Super Nintendo as well. But most of the other ones are on the PlayStation. So, but 6 is the last one on the Nintendo, on the regular Nintendo, on the regular NES system. On this one, instead of having Rush as he is now a Rush adapter. You get one that's a Rush power adapter, which gives you a power suit that you have on, that you can charge up and super punch things. The other one is a jetpack adapter, where he turns into a jetpack and he clamps on, and you are a jetpack. And so, and it goes just a little bit of time up in the air. You can shoot normally with both of these, so you could stay with the jetpack or whatever as long as you wanted to during the game, because you would still be regular Mega Man in that sense. I mean, you'd be a different color, but you'd still be almost regular Mega Man. This time, to get beat, and I didn't use beat too much on the playthrough, but this time when you get beat, you have to spell out the 4 letters B-E-A-T. There's a letter in 4 of the stages. There's 8 stages, but in 4 of them, there's a real boss and a fake boss. And you could do it a different way to where you get the Rush power adapters, because you have to have the power adapters to get the beat letters. You have to have those adapters to get the letters, because there's a couple where you have to fly up, or you have to punch through a wall to go the way that you need to go, so that you can get to the real boss and not the fake boss. Now, will you be able to tell the real boss from a fake boss? And no, you won't. The only thing that'll happen is, like, if you go the path that I go, the first 2 stages will, once you get done with them, they'll have a black background on them. The robot leader picture will have a background, will have a black background on it. Now, as you complete the other ones, they'll have Mega Man heads behind them. The Mega Man head behind them means that those stages do not have a beat letter in them. The other ones, they'll have a beat letter in them, but until you get the beat letter that's in there by defeating the true boss, you won't have, it'll place a letter on there after you beat them. It'll place whatever letter that you had that would pick them up, that you could beat them. When I say true boss and a fake boss, there's no difference. There's no difference. You still defeat the boss the same way. It's just, you know, it's just a different path to the boss, and that's the one that gives you the letter. So you can go to the Nightman stage first. That's the one I always go to. You can go to any of these because you can kill them all with your Mega Buster, your arm cannon. Most of them aren't too hard. To me, the two hardest ones are Tomahawk Man and Yamato Man, and even they can be killed with the arm cannon. And I'm going to tell you this right now, so that I don't have to go through every stage. Every stage is fairly easy, not too long, shouldn't give anybody any problems. There's really no tips, no tricks, or anything to get through them. You just go through the stages. That's, you know, there's really no tips or tricks for them. The game itself is fairly easy. It's not that difficult. Even like I said, the Robot Masters and even Wily's Castle and things like that should be difficult at the end are not that hard. That said, you know, if you're going through the game for the first time, you could probably make it through most of the game on the first time. I had at the end of the game, I had 9 E-Tanks. Well, I had 9 E-Tanks total at one point, which is the most that you can get. I still probably had about 6 or 7 by the time the game was over, because I just don't see it's that difficult. There's a couple of little things that I'll tell you in this video that will make it a little bit easier, but I'm not going through the stages because, like I said, the stage is self-explanatory. They're easy to go through. The first time that you go through them, you're not even going to have to, until you get the adapters, you're not even going to have to go a different way. And like I said, again, this is the way I go. This is not necessarily the way that you have to go, because actually, if you beat, there's a Flame Man and a Plant Man. If you beat both of them, you get the Rush adapters. And actually, you can face Tomahawk Man, Yamato Man, Nightman, and Centaur Man, and you'll get B, E, A, and T. So they're in order. They're in order if you want to go get the adapters first. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can do it like I do and just go through the game and then go back and pick them up. But if you want to do it that way and you feel confident in your abilities, that's the way that you can go. So again, like I said, we take on Nightman first. His attack is basically, he kind of jumps around the room, he stops, he turns around with the shield. Usually he throws out the little mace he's got, the little mace ball he's got. It's not very hard to dodge it, you just jump it. You can't shoot him when the shield's up. You have to wait until he throws the mace out. Now, if you have the Yamato Spear, which is what he is weak against, you can just shoot it even when the shield is turned towards you, and it'll hit him anyway. So that'll hit him. His is one of those stages that has the beat A part on it. And it is, excuse me. Oh, excuse me again. Allergies are kicking up. Anyway, it'll have it's a bottom path. It's a bottom path as you're going through the stage. You'll use the lower path. I think there's a block that needs to be destroyed. Or no. It may not be in block. There's one that where there's a few where a block needs to be destroyed, and then there's other ones where you have to just kind of go along the bottom path and then take the ladder up. But you'll need you'll need the jet to go through on the bottom part so that you can get over there. Next one will be Centaur Man stage. Well, you get the Night. They have it listed as the Night Sea. I'm assuming that's for Night Chain. That's what we'll use it as. That's what we'll call it, is Night Chain, since we don't know exactly what it is. So, next one that you're going to face is going to be Centaur Man. Centaur Man's is the top level of his stage, takes you to the correct one. Centaur Man's a little bit different. If you have the Night Chain, you're going to use it, and really don't use hardly anything else. He can freeze time. He'll do that every so often, and most of the time he'll shoot up against the wall. If you're in a right spot, the shots won't hit you. They'll break against the wall, and they'll come back one way or the other, whichever way the wall is. And they'll come back, and they'll most of them will miss you. He can also teleport throughout the stage. The other thing that you don't want to get into it with him too much, do it if you have to, but don't do it if it doesn't need to be, is jumping over him. He's very difficult to jump over. He is very tall, and he's very hard to jump over. But just if you have the Night Chain, just use it, and it kind of works like a boomerang. It shoots out and comes back in a weird way, but usually you can hit him with them. Not too bad. Then you go after Windman. Windman, you get the Centaur Flash from Centaur Man. It kind of works like the gravity, hold and the Time Stopper off of 5 and 2. Kind of flashes the screen and I guess freezes time. When you go to face Windman, it's not going to freeze him, but you need to make sure that you don't get hit and that he's on the screen and that you can see him when you hit him with this, otherwise you'll run out of it. Basically, his attacks are to try to go somewhere and land on you or something like that, and then the other one is he shoots out these fans that go out and do that. But if you use that Centaur Flash, you shouldn't have too many problems against him. You'll get the Windstorm from him, and it's a little cyclone that goes across the ground. What I like about number 6 is they go back to showing you what the weapon does. Some of the games show you what the weapons do when you get them, some of them don't, and then you just have to try them out. So some of them do, some of them don't. And like I said, you'll see me defeat a couple of the bosses with just the arm cannon. And I switch to the weapon at the end to make sure that you guys know what I'm using. Or you can use this video, either one. Next one will be Flame Man. And you'll use the Windstorm against him. He won't be that hard. He jumps across the room. He slams his hand to the ground. And little fire things come up. They come up in different random areas. And usually he may take a shot or two at you with fire, and then he'll usually jump across or jump through the room. If you use the Windstorm, you won't have too many problems with him because it can go through the flames and through everything else. It's not very difficult. You don't have to hit him with too many of them. You'll get the Fire Blast or the Flame Blast, whichever one you want to call it. And you'll go face Blizzard Man. And Blizzard Man has 2 attacks, and that's it. And he's not hard to kill. One, he bundles up into a ball and tries to roll into you. He'll hit the wall, he'll bounce off. The other one is he sends these little 4 snowflakes down to hit you. They usually converge on one spot. They're usually fairly easy to dodge. He's fairly easy to jump over. Very rarely will he be right up in your face or anything. The best thing to do with him, use the flame attack and just jump up and pelt him with it when he's not in ball form or anything like that. He goes down after a couple of hits. He's not that difficult. Next one's going to be Plant Man. You really don't need the Blizzard attack to kill Plant Man. I don't think I even used it. You can use the arm cannon and pretty much get away with it. Plant Man is... He calls up a plant barrier. He jumps like, I think it's like 2 times, and then he throws the barrier at you. Pretty similar to Starman, except he stays on the ground. So he'll jump, you know, and he'll do that. Either just shoot the arm cannon at him, or if you want to, you can use the Blizzard thing, and he'll shoot like, it'll pull up 4 snowflakes behind you and shoot them out. One's up high, one's middle high, one's middle low, and then the other one's lower. So you can kill him with that, but you can kill him with the arm cannon as well. He's definitely not hard. That's the only attack he's got, is that he throws that plant barrier and then he jumps around. And as soon as he throws the plant barrier, he brings another one up. So he's not hard at all. Now you'll face Tomahawk Man. Now Tomahawk Man can be difficult to kill with your arm cannon by itself. It can be done, but it's very difficult. It's difficult to kill him with the plant barrier, which is the item that you get from... the Blizzard one is the Blizzard attack. The plant one is the plant barrier. And to kill Tomahawk Man with this, you have to, just like every other defense one, you have to kind of be standing near him and turn on. And it'll kill him, but you got to be careful. He's got a couple of attacks. He'll jump around the room. He's also got where he'll flip his head forward, and these like mohawk things will come off of his head. I think there's 3 of them at varying speeds. And also he'll throw tomahawks. The best thing that you can hope for is to get him in a loop. Because he jumps around quite frequently, and he jumps a lot. He jumps a lot. You'll kill him and you'll get the Silver Tomahawk. The weird thing about the Silver Tomahawk is it flies at an angle. Like that. Like in that shape. So you have to get used to that, because that's one of the stronger weapons in the game. And you have to get used to the trajectory that it goes. It goes like across and up. So you have to get used to that trajectory when you're facing some of the enemies, because they're weak against it. It's hard to use sometimes. Now you'll face Yamato Man, will be the last one you face. You get the Yamato Spear from him. He'll either shoot the spear at you and it'll land and he'll come after it, which either A, he'll hit you at that point, or he'll hit you running to get the spear. And then the other one, he jumps up in the air, and as he's jumping up, it's spinning around, it shoots down 3. The 3 are kind of easy to avoid. It's the one that he throws out and hits you with that it's a little bit harder to avoid. Try to put some space in between you and him if you're going to kill him with your arm cannon. Try to put some space in between you and him. Now, his weakness is that Silver Tomahawk I was talking about earlier. You can probably get away with it with him, because basically he's either going to be right in front of you, or he's going to be somewhere near where you can hit him with that. So he's either going to be right there on the ground, or he's going to be up in the air, one of the 2. So not a big deal. I will say, again, like I was saying, you go to a castle from a Mr. X, which is really Wily, and if you can't tell it's Wily, that's pretty bad, because it looks almost exactly like Wily, but with a beard. But anyway, you'll have 2 castles. You'll have the Mr. X castle and the Wily castle. Again, like most stages, not that difficult. There is one in, I think it's Wily's castle, where, and I cannot give you any tips or tricks to this, because it is just something you have to try to figure out yourself on the button press, because it's one of those that you have to use. You have to use the jetpack, but you'll have to drop, and you'll almost drop into a pit, and then you'll almost hit the ceiling that has, both the pit and the ceiling have spikes, and you have to make it through there. The button press timing that needs to be on there, it has to be precise. You can watch the video. I died, and then most of the time I make save states if I can right there and just save right there. But you're going to have to probably try to do it a few times, because even with me, it even takes a couple of times for me to do it and to do it correctly, because it's a drop and then you have to hit the button exactly at the right time to get through there. So a little bit difficult to do. So but practice makes perfect. Like I said, there's no tips or tricks I can tell you, because I can't tell you exactly when to hit the button or anything like that. But we'll get to the bosses here. Mr. X stage, he has 4 stages in that castle. We're going to call the first boss Twin Runners. They're 2 twin machines that go along these tracks, and sometimes they're fast, sometimes they're slow. You're going to use the Flame Blast, and you're going to try to hit them in the side. You got to hit them in the sides. And once you take down enough damage on one, you'll take that one down, and then the other one will be going around. They shoot at you while they're doing that. You just have to just dodge them best you can and use that flame. The second stage, we're going to call him the Wall Climber. He's climbing the far right hand wall up and down. He will be shooting at you. Rocks will be falling and trying to break open, either try to hit you or try to break open on the ground, and the pieces break off and hit. The Silver Tomahawk is what you have to use against him. But you have to use it while he's shooting at you and while the rocks are falling, so you have to get the trajectory just right, because you have to hit him on the side, which is, it's the head, but it's the side, because he's sideways on the wall, going up and down. So there's that. Like I said, trial and error with that Tomahawk. Third stage has the metal suit. One of the little metal things, the little hard hat things that's been in all 6 games, he gets dropped down into a big metal suit that looks like you can't do anything against it. You just pull out the Blizzard attack and you just jump. I don't even know if you even need to jump to hit him, because it's got to be in the head. But using the Blizzard attack, you got 4 different levels for that thing to go through. So it's really not that bad. And then you can dodge the shots he's shooting at you. These things are just so daggone big. You should be able to get around them. I mean, you could still take the hits and you should still be fine. The last one, it's a swinging metal ball that Mr. X is in. It's a swinging metal ball. Kill this thing with your arm cannon. Just stay on the left hand side of the screen. Kill it with your arm cannon. This thing will come back. It'll keep swinging. It won't hit you. If you stay on the left side of the screen, this thing will not hit you. The only thing it's going to do is it's going to drop down like a bullet thing that goes 2 ways across the floor. Just jump over it. Just jump every time it's coming or it's going, and take your shot on the side of it. It's on the head of it pretty much, but you just take your shot on the side of it, and it's just dodging, just jumping and dodging, just jump dodging and shooting. Wily's also has 4 stages. It's kind of a surprise on one of the stages, and I'll get to that here in just a second. Wily 1, you'll face a dinosaur. You can only hit him in the head. He has little platforms that come out of around, I guess it's like his neck area. You have to jump on those platforms and ride them up to the ceiling and take a few shots, and then do it again and take a few shots, all the while he's shooting at you. The best thing to use is the Yamato Spear. You can use the arm cannon, but the Yamato Spear does so much more damage to this thing, so that's kind of what you want to use. Second boss is like It looks like a toy tank machine almost. It's got a top and then it's got like the 2 legs that come down the side. It shoots bubbles and other just shots out there at you. It's not hard to hit. You just have to hit it in the top. You just hit it with the wind tornadoes. You just jump up and pelt it with the wind tornadoes. It's not very difficult at all. Wily level 3, it just has the robot masters. There's no boss. There's no other boss. You just go through the robot masters like you do on every other game, but there's no boss on this one. And I found that very, very odd. Maybe because there's 3 parts of the last boss, but, you know, that being said, there's no boss there. The last stage has the Wily machine, which is, it's a 2-part machine. It's the same thing both times. It's very easy to avoid either way. It just shoots at you and just goes across the room and just shoots at you and tries to like stomp on you, but there's really no way to, if you're paying attention, there's no way to get hit by this thing hardly. You'll use the night chain on him. Once you run out of that, you'll use your arm cannon. You're aiming for the side and head. After both of those, he'll be in a smaller machine, and he'll appear, shoot, disappear. Appear, shoot, disappear. Use the silver tomahawk here. I was lucky enough that he was on levels that I could hit him, and at trajectories that I could hit him with the tomahawk and didn't miss at all, and didn't get hit either. So, you know, fairly easy boss at the end of the game there. You would expect a little bit more, but it doesn't get hard. It's not a hard game. It's not very difficult either. I mean, it's just going through. I like the game. It's probably my 3rd or 4th favorite, depending upon how I feel at that time. You know, it runs a close race with number 5. I like them both. Like I said, I like how they show you what the weapons do this time again. I like the music when you get the weapons this time. Things of that nature. I like how the game is easier. There are parts that trip you up, that do challenge you, but for most part the game is pretty easy, and it's not very bad to run through. I think I did forget one thing. I think, in case I didn't put them out there, the B letter is in Tomahawk Command stage. It's the top, then the bottom path, and the E letter is in Yamato Man stage, and it's on the top path. That's how you get beat. I didn't even use beat, I don't think, in the game at all whatsoever. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. It's a good game. It's not bad. If you're looking for a challenge, you might want to play something else, or you might want to do it a different way, so that it makes more of a challenge. The next couple of different streams that we'll probably do will probably be the Donkey Kong Country trilogy that I done, which was 1, 2, and 3. And try to give you some hints and tricks and tips on. You can't really tip and trick 1 and 2 and 3 because most of them are most of the ground rules are the same on each one. I mean, you know, you see a lone banana at the bottom of the screen, that's probably where a barrel's at. There's not many to speak of, you know, but we'll go over the games a little bit more in depth and in detail if I think something needs to be brought up. I'll bring it up and let you know, because there are some different things in there that I probably will talk about. trying to do a ECHL thing on NHL 19. We were using the Willing Nailers on that. If you guys want to check that out, that was brought to my attention to do by Roger, and I'll let Roger pick any team on any league that he wanted me to play as, and he picked the Wheeling Nailers, which are the ECHL affiliate of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins, which are the AHL affiliate to the NHL's Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey team, farm teams run through Wheeling, West Virginia, and they play as the Wheeling Nailers. The Nailers look a lot like Pittsburgh's colors. They wear that gold, black, and white. So far, it's been pretty good. I think there's going to be 72 games. Then went through quite a bit of them. We're going to try to knock out some more as the days go by, and try to get those streamed. Try to see what we can do on there. Try to win what we can. This is my first time I've went through the ECHL. I've never went through the AHL or the ECHL. I've always been in the NHL. I have played in the Canadian Hockey League and the Ontario Hockey League, which is a minor league system in Canada. There's 3 of those. There's the Western Hockey League, the Ontario Hockey League, and the Quebec Minor Hockey League. It might be the Quebec Junior Minor Hockey League, I think is what they call it. But he picked the Wheeling Nailers, which are in this state up north. For those of you who didn't know that we had that, we do. So there's that. I'm going to be doing that. For the next couple days, we're hoping to get some more streams in. I believe me and Jim are going to stream Doom 1 and maybe Doom 2 on Thursday. I think we're going to try to get those streams up on both 1 and 2 of that, and we'll try to get that done. Again, viewer discretion is advised on those videos, as they are, even though it is an older game, some stuff is still pretty violent on them, and even though we're not playing the new Dooms, we're playing the old ones, there still is a lot of gore and everything on them, so just take that as it is. We'll try to get those up for you. We'll try to come up with a Friday night flashback. I'm not really sure exactly what that's going to be yet. We'll know a little bit more once it gets towards Friday. Of course, today's Tuesday, so once it gets closer to Friday, we will hopefully know what that's going to be. A lot of these videos I'm streaming, I'm trying to push some of them out while I'm here at home. I'm trying to get some of them out there because we've needed some of them out here for quite some time now, and kind of been relaxing and not really doing them, and I kind of need to be doing them because I kind of need to get them out there for you guys, so that so that you have some tips and tricks and some playthroughs and stuff to go on, so that you'll know things a little bit more. So that's why we're trying to get these videos out to you, trying to get them done, things like that. I know they go a little bit long sometimes, but we try to do as best we can with that, and try to give you as much information and things as we can. That way, if you go to play any of these games, you'll not be out in the dark. Of course, you can use the playthroughs too, but these give you a little bit more emphasis and in detail of maybe what I was thinking whenever I was going through the game. because there's times when you don't see anything going on, and you don't hear anything other than the game, and I may be having a really difficult time with something during the stream, and you guys don't see it, but I may be having a difficult time, you know, trying to do something. We're also streaming. I'm going to stream Super Mario World. We did Worlds 1 and 2 the last time we streamed that. We're going to try to do Worlds 3 and 4, and then 5, 6, and 7, and even Star Roads are probably going to have to be by themselves. You're not really going to get too many react videos out of those because I have my girlfriend that's known as Cracklin' Bacon 87 on Xbox Live. For those of you that have met her there, for those of you that haven't, that's her on there. Her name is Danielle, and she is playing Super Mario World with me. She is doing the Mario parts, I'm doing the Luigi parts. So when you see Luigi start falling down holes and losing a bunch of lives, that's me not being very good at the game. She's a lot better at that one than I am. I used to could remember everything on it. I can't remember everything on it. She can remember almost everything on it, and you know it helps on hers. We'll probably do a Super Mario Brothers 3 one as well, which I do better at that one. She does better at Mario World. We've also thrown around a Mario Kart idea, a Super Mario Kart idea. If we do that one, she'll probably be playing most of the Super Mario Kart because she's a lot better at it than I am, and she does a lot better with it than I do. So she will probably do that. We'll probably come up with some other things to stream. You know, there'll be maybe me and her. Most of these things are going to be like me. Or I'm going to try to get Jim to co-stream or stream on Mixer or Twitch or whatever he wants to use when we do Doom. That way you can watch either one, or you can watch either one live, or you can go back and watch them later, and you can watch mine, see from my point of view, or you can watch his and watch from his point of view. His point of view is pretty much going to be the same as mine because even though we separate and do different stuff, we usually meet at a common area, and we usually try to stay together a little bit so that the survival rate's a little bit easier and a little bit better. And that'll be on Doom, so we'll see what we can do on there. And that's about going to do it for this video, and like I said, we're going to try to get some more out there. The next one, like I said, the Donkey Kong Country. I don't know if I'm just going to do number 1 or if I'm going to do the entire series in one whack. It just depends upon how much information I think needs to be out there and how long the video should be. So until next time, we will see everybody later.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And sleep till I come home, dream of something sweet. I will be there soon to wake you so discreet. We were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest tears. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains just to find the loudest tears. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. like I do right now. Don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. But you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall, my love. If you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out. You can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones. You won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down with fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight. Push me down to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out. You can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away, but I'm here to stay. No, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down with fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight, I'm a heavyweight.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.